So with regards to an industry analysis for Twitter, we discovered that placing Twitter in an industry is a challenge in and of itself. While most social media platforms are small or private companies, a lot of them also fall under the umbrella of a larger organization, similar to Instagram and Facebook. So as Twitter has become a very important news outlet, we've determined that it's within the internet information provider industry. And within that industry, we believe that Twitter is part of a social media strategic group. When it comes to competition for Twitter, a lot of the larger names we all know, places like Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat. One of the other ones we discovered that is gathering up a lot of social media attention is Microsoft, which owns the likes of GroupMe and Skype. Facebook and Microsoft are common in implementing the strategy of acquiring other social media platforms, along with intellectual property rights and patents. Facebook, as most of us probably know, bought Instagram for $1 billion in 2012. Instagram is currently valued at $35 billion. In addition to those acquisitions, Facebook also bought WhatsApp for $19 billion in 2014, and Microsoft bought GroupMe and Skype for $8.5 billion in 2013. Social media platforms are unique and highly differentiated, which causes a lot of competition amongst them. And the typical social media user likely has an account on multiple different platforms. The threat of substitutes is high. Twitter is seen by many as a vital source of news, particularly for up-to-the-minute and breaking information. Traditional media sources like print media, television news, online sites like CNN, NBC News, Yahoo, are all substitutes for Twitter. These outlets, from national news outlets to the local newspaper, typically have Twitter accounts where they can post links to stories and articles on their own sites, which draws attention away from Twitter. However, Twitter offers the compilation of all of these resources for individuals to go to find information from CNN and NBC News on one site. The threat of new entrants. New entrants are constant in social media and internet information itself. Almost on a daily basis, we feel like we find out about a new social media site. Acquisitions and mergers by Facebook, Microsoft, Google, even Twitter are all evidence of this. Twitter and Facebook alone have each made 50 plus acquisitions in the last decade. These include social media platforms like Instagram, Vine, GroupMe, WhatsApp, but they also include a lot of the intellectual property rights and the software development designs. Response to these successful new entrants is typically to mimic and strengthen your own product. Just like Twitter started the hashtag trend, Facebook and Instagram now use that, and it's a heavy presence on a lot of social media sites. Failure to respond and innovate to these new innovative ideas will result in an exit from the market. A lot of us joke about it, but a great example of this is MySpace. Nobody knows about it anymore, but it was huge when we were 12, 13, 14 years old. The bargaining power of buyers. Buyers have a high bargaining power in this industry as it's full of competitors. Customer satisfaction, user satisfaction is pivotal in maintaining that level of usership and viewership. With the ease of simply using a different social media platform, Twitter has to adapt and innovate to what the users want and what they demand. Advertisers are also a big part of this. This is where Twitter generates a lot of their revenue and their cash flow. So they constantly have to work on developing new software, new algorithms to attract advertisers to their site. This is one of their big focuses right now, and it's easy for advertisers to find better options. You can use websites like CNN instead of using Twitter, where people might just surf through your content and move on. The bargaining power of suppliers is a little bit tough to define for this, but we've determined that one of the bigger factors is that Twitter outsources most of their software development to tech companies and freelance workers as a sense of sort of creating competition amongst them in order to find the best product for them. While most suppliers and tech companies jump at this chance to work with Twitter because it offers them a creative standpoint and everybody will see their product, it also increases their bargaining power because they have the ability to negotiate the price of their work. A bigger factor in this might be the marketing companies that work with Twitter in researching and gathering data. about what appeals to specific users. In this respect, they have a large bargaining power with Twitter, because Twitter's platform is a bit difficult to maintain from an advertiser's perspective. But in the process, these marketing companies have the ability to dictate terms to Twitter, like contract prices and things of that nature. So overall, we've decided that the highest threat of all is the threat of new entrants. This happens constantly. Every time you turn around, it seems like somebody else is using a different social media site, which forces Twitter to change its own product and to appeal to what users desire. And a bigger issue of this is a lot of Twitter's users like Twitter as it is. A lot of their recent changes have caused uproar and disapproval amongst most users. And that causes them to lose and cause a decline in their usership over the last few quarters. One of the more moderate threats is the threat of substitutes. As we mentioned, Twitter is being defined more and more as a news outlet. And there are realistically more convenient, in-depth outlets rather than surfing through your Twitter timeline to come up with a 140-character breaking news line. One of the lower threats we discovered is really the bargaining power of suppliers. Twitter maintains a small base of suppliers, but even more so, they have successfully turned this threat into an advantage for them. We mentioned earlier that they outsource a lot of their software development and algorithm creation designs. By doing this, they create a sense of competition amongst tech companies and freelance workers who really do jump at the opportunity to work for them, because this is a chance to get your name out there. If you get used by Twitter one time, there's a chance that they're going to come back and use you again. But it's also an opportunity for these people to create something big, to create an innovative design, and to have it seen on a global standpoint.